Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hello Word, the podcast where we explore English vocabulary, one word at a time. I'm your host, Alex, and today's word is duty. Duty, as a noun, at a B1 level, means a moral or legal obligation, a responsibility. It's something you are expected to do. We use it to describe tasks or actions that are required, often by law or because of a position you hold. Think of it as something you have to do, even if you don't necessarily want to. For instance, a soldier has a duty to defend their country. A parent has a duty to care for their children. You see, it's about fulfilling expectations. Now, let's look at some synonyms for duty. A great synonym is responsibility. For example, it is my responsibility to ensure everyone is safe. This is very similar to saying, it is my duty to ensure everyone is safe. Another good synonym is obligation. You could say, I have an obligation to attend the meeting, meaning you are required to be there. Another example would be citizens have an obligation to obey the law. Also, consider the word commitment. It's a close cousin to duty. Think of it this way. She feels a strong commitment to her work, implying she views it as her duty. One more synonym is task. While task can sometimes refer to a small job, it can also describe a larger responsibility. For instance, he considered it his task to mentor the younger employees, meaning he felt it was his duty. So, responsibility, obligation, commitment, and task are all words that share a similar meaning with duty. Let's move on to antonyms, words that have the opposite meaning of duty. One antonym is choice. If something is your duty, you don't have a choice about it. For example, attending the event wasn't a choice. It was a duty. Another antonym is option. Consider the sentence, he didn't see it as a duty, but rather an option. This implies he was free to choose whether or not to do it. Another antonym is freedom. When you have a duty, you have less freedom. An example would be, completing her assignments gave her freedom from that duty. Think of discretion. If something is left to your discretion, it's the opposite of a duty. For instance, whether to participate in the project was left to my discretion, not my duty. Finally, think of irresponsibility. This is the direct opposite of fulfilling a duty. As an example, consider showing up late demonstrates irresponsibility, a failure to fulfill your duty. So, choice, option, freedom, discretion, and irresponsibility all offer contrasting meanings to duty. How can we use duty in everyday life? Well, you might say, I have a duty to pick up my kids from school at 3 p.m. Or, it's my duty to take care of my elderly parents. We also use it in common expressions like call of duty, which refers to a strong sense of duty that compels someone to act, often in a difficult or dangerous situation. For example, the firefighter answered the call of duty and rushed into the burning building. Now, let's look at some example sentences. It is the duty of the police to protect the public. Paying taxes is a civic duty. He felt a strong sense of duty towards his family. She performed her duty with diligence and care. The doctor's duty is to provide the best possible care for their patients. Jury service is a civic duty. He felt it was his duty to report the incident to the authorities. The soldiers swore an oath to fulfill their duty to the country. She took her duty very seriously. They considered it their duty to help those in need. To summarize, duty is a noun that means a moral or legal obligation, a responsibility. We discussed synonyms like responsibility, obligation, commitment, and task, and antonyms such as choice, option, freedom, discretion, and irresponsibility. We also explored how duty is used in everyday conversations and expressions. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others find the show and learn new words. And now I have a challenge for you. Can you create your own sentence using the word duty? Share your sentence in the comments section below the video. I look forward to reading your examples. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring the wonderful world of words.